Okay, so in this video, we're going to go over the e-signing page of a mortgage file. This is great because it's going to allow you to send these e-signing packages out to clients, get a fully signed package along with a certificate that actually has the ability to be verified on our website. I'll show you all that in this video, exactly how to use it and to check on the status of things. So what we're going to do is we are going to create our own package. So we're going to give it a title. If you want an email description, so please sign these documents. Okay. We're just going to add one. Let's just do this. That way I'm not putting anything sensitive in here. So you would upload all your documents here or select from any of the ones you already have uploaded in the Documents tab. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to select the contact that you want to send it to. So anyone involved in the file would already be available here. But we're going to create a couple different people. So Bob. Okay. Yeah, so you can add a note if you want, but you don't need to. Now, when we go send for signatures, it's going to go open up the configuration module. So I'll move these out of the way. Okay, so this is what the certificate actually looks like, just so you guys can see it. So it's how many signatures, the dates that it was signed, and then there's a certificate ID right here that can be entered on the website to basically validate the certificate. So very, very secure. We've done all the things necessary for an e-signing package to be accepted. It might just be a matter of certain lenders seeing it enough before they start accepting it. But most that we've all tried it with are perfectly fine with it. So you'll notice you have the different signers up here that we mentioned. And then if you had multiple pages, you could toggle them right over here. So we only have one page. That's why it only shows one here. So we're going to add some fields for test client and then add some fields for Bob. So say we need to sign at the bottom for both people. We just drag and drop the signatures just like any other e-signing format. And if you click on it, your formatting options will show on the side here as well. So you can actually toggle the different type of field type. And then, yeah, same with checkbox and stuff. You can make sure that it is required or not required. Very, very easy stuff. And the very nice thing about our e-signing is you can actually save templates. So not only can you save as a draft and come back to it later, which let's do that right now. So I'm going to go save as draft. And to go back to it later, you're going to go to history up top. And then in the history tab, it's going to say draft. And then you can click on it and you go continue placing fields. Okay, and it comes right back to our package. So you can always create a draft and then come back to it later. Maybe you want your assistant or your VA to create a draft and then you come and do a final check and then send it out. So that's great. But you can also save positions of these text fields. And what's cool about that is if you go save as template, maybe we have one that's called TD approval package. Sorry for my typing. Positions only. Maybe you say including MPP. So you're going to have your whole package probably in here, but I just want to show you how the templates work. So if I go save template, if I was to delete these fields, so remove this field, remember where they were located. I had a checkbox right here and I had two signing fields right there. So if I go choose from templates and I go TD approval package, those fields will appear in the same spot and also the same configuration, borrower 1, borrower 2, which is super cool because that means you can create your full TD approval package all in one go. And then at the very end, you save it as a template before sending it out because it's very likely that next time you have that same kind of package, even though it's a different client, you can use that template to put the fields in the proper spots. That way you're not dragging everything around a bunch, resizing everything. Everything's already ready to go, which is super cool. So with that being said, that is our e-signing from our side. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like from the client side. I'm going to send this package out. So I'm going to click send package. Might take a sec. Okay, package has been sent. Okay, I'm going to go hop on my email and show you what that looks like. Okay, so this is what the signing package is going to look like. It's going to show how many documents have been are contained in there, and it'll also show any kind of message that you put in that email box when we originally set it up. So if I click review and sign, so then I'm going to load their session. And by the way, this looks very, very clean and easy to use on a phone, which is super important. So it says this is the signing lobby. So it just gives them an idea of how many fields are going to be required, when it expires, and so on. They click next or I agree. They can view our terms and conditions of how we manage our e-sign stuff. But we have a full audit trail of this. And they click next, takes them into the e-signing, and that's when they can start to click on the fields, draw their stuff, click apply, and I believe I am very zoomed out on my browser. So it's not usually that zoomed out. So they can zoom out, zoom in, but they sign the field, and the other field that I had and the checkbox were for that other borrower. So that's why they didn't show up. But essentially all they have to really do is sign and then click next field, and it will auto scroll them to the next item, which is super cool. Now, once they're done, they just click this box at the bottom, click complete and finish, and then you're all good to go. Okay, so now that they finished signing, if you go to history, you can actually see who is signed and who hasn't. So test client here has already signed. The other borrower that we sent it to hasn't. This is where you would resend them that email if you want to resend it to them. I do want to mention this is within the mortgage file. However, if you go to the side and you find the e-signing page on the sidebar, that's going to be an overview of all your packages. So the ones sent, draft, completed, void. So you can really see everything right in here of what you're still pending. You can see all the different templates that you've created, and you can also see all the certificates that were generated. So with the certificates, I do want to mention, if you ever get any fluff from a lender, all you need to do is generate this certificate for them. I'll show you what that looks like. This is what the certificate looks like. And every single certificate has a link on it where you can validate that certificate. So as you can see, it says verify at https //preview.broki.ca. This is the certificate ID. However, if the lender just clicks that link, it will actually take them to the verification page and automatically validate that signing package. So this is the validation that they get. It says valid certificate. There are X many signers. They did one date box, one initial box, one check box, 2 signatures. This was from a different package I sent out. And then they can download the certificate PDF. So full validation in here. And yeah, you can save the templates. No more e-signing package. No more e-signing subscription. This does not cost you any more money. This is included in Broki. We're not charging per envelope. You can use it as much as you want. The last thing I want to mention before I stop this video is that in that e-signing tab, if you are getting something e-signed, you don't need to always certificate. I'll use the same one as an example. You don't need to just save templates with those positions. If it's something like a credit consent form, that's something that you might be sending out all the time. Therefore, if you knew you had to sign in this spot, you had to put a date in this spot, and you had to initial in this spot, just as an example, then you could save as a template and save document plus positions, and you could say credit consent form. When you click save as template, now that's a template so that if you ever need something signed, you can select from your templates here. Or actually, I need to refresh. My bad. That's an old template. My apologies. So refresh after you saved it as a template. And see, credit consent form is right here. So as soon as I click that, I click it, type a little description, add a recipient, send. Already has those things in place. You just fire it off. So very, very easy to send out credit consent forms and all the things that you're constantly getting signed. And then for the things that you're always swapping out the document with a new one, such as an approval, because there's different mortgage details, different contact names, you can send it out that way. So my suggestion is for all the signing packages, save the template just positions only, and then all the stuff that you find yourself sending out that you think you're gonna have to send again, just save as a document plus the positions. But that's our e-signing feature. Hope this helps. The client flow is super easy to use. And we really took a lot of time to do this. So if there's any feedback, please let us know. And yeah, hope we catch you on the next tutorial.